Yo, Mr. Good Guy here, aka MGG, and you just joined the Decent Crew. We're just a group of guys who discuss, review, rank, and poke fun at all the things we love and hate in manga, anime, and everything else. So sit back and relax because it's all decent over here, man. Run it.
I've been working on this record for a minute, still I feel like nothing that I do is good enough. My insecurities are creeping in, so they will sleep into the music. And it's funny when other people see your pain as I'm using the...
Let's move on to Black Clover, chapter 113 and 115. This is gonna be super fast because basically 113 and 115 was just the matchups getting set up for this Royal Knight selection exam, which I'm not really gonna go too deep into. The main one was just that, like, Asta's. Oh, we got the team set up. So is with Asta's like girl from her team. I keep forgetting her name, Noelle. Most of these other characters I didn't know or care about, and I didn't really care too much about a lot of the other matchups. I'm sure it'll be interesting once the fight actually starts, but basically we hop into round one, which is like Asta, this Zax guy, and that girl versus these three guys who I guess hate the fact that Zax disrespected the Emperor. So the whole point of these battles are you're supposed to like basically attack the person's crystal, and by attacking their crystal you get like some points or whatever, and whoever's crystal gets destroyed first wins. So, I mean, whoever's crystal gets destroyed first loses. So they basically all gang up, and they're all like range type magic people. They all decide to use one big attack against them. Zax is pretty much sleeping. Asta and the girl are pretty much worried about what's gonna happen. Like, she's trying to defend the crystal. Asta's like trying to figure out how the heck they're like not gonna get shot. So they finally, she pulls out some of her magic, and basically like she has some plant magic, and she I guess has a new spell that allows her to like basically be the navigator for the squad in this situation. So Asta does some blocking with his sword, cutting up some magic or whatever. They basically do their own thing for a little bit until the guys kind of get annoyed, and they're like, all right, cool, we're finna go all out. Now we're basically into chapter 115. So at 115, when they decide to finally go all out, they hit like their three strongest magic attacks at them, and then finally Zax wakes the hell up and shows us what he's made of. And basically his magic is some sort of weird trap thing that allows him to reflect other magic. So basically a whole bunch of people attacked him, and he absorbed all that magic and then deflected it right back at him. But he can also deflect and amplify, so he sent it back at them stronger than it came at them. So
impact Dell.
Exactly, pretty much that's what he is. So the girl is the one who peeped like how his power works a little bit. Is basically that he sets up these traps beforehand, then if you meet certain conditions that will activate the reflection type magic. And I guess it's because they have so many different spells, I'm sure like there's tweaks here and there about how he reflects things and like the different types of traps. So I'm assuming the one that he did was probably like closer to like his stronger type spell, the one where he reflects back a stronger amount. He did like some smaller ones earlier in the story, but that's pretty much the gist. And then so they win because of that. And Zax pretty much is like the douchebag character who is like, well, if you guys are weaker than me, then you're not shit, and you're not good enough to be a part of the Royal Knights because you lost to me. So basically, you guys should all die. Asta obviously gets annoyed with that because he's a main character with main character syndrome. They end up winning their match, and then it's pretty much just they're gonna be at a head for a little bit because that's just what's gonna happen. But and then we're going into like the next set of matchups. So there's a guy who kind of reminds me of Hip Laser Dude from Boku no Hero that gets introduced. He's like a pretty type character where everything's got to be beautiful, or he has like these beautiful rules like Sunny.
So he's like Sunny.
Yeah, he's like Sunny and Hip Laser guy. They're all obsessed with the beauty or whatever. So we'll see what becomes of that guy.
Well, buddy with the horse from One Piece.
Yeah. Cavendish, yeah. So he got introduced. We'll see what happens there. Not a whole lot of cool stuff happening in this chapter. His magic was interesting, but I'm not a huge fan of like reflection in this story because there's just so many other spells people have. This is like, I'm wondering how much deeper it can get besides he just reflects shit at you. So we'll see.
Was that supposed to be like a graphic version of Fairy Tail or something?
What do you mean?
That manga?
Black Clover? No, I mean they all have book. Have you watched Zax Bell?
Nope.
It's closer to Zax Bell than that. Like each person has like a book of spells, and as they get stronger, more spells get revealed. So, like that's kind of like the concept. So at the lower level, they have like a couple of spells that they can use, but then as they start to get stronger, Zax Bell's concept was that you had like this little kid, and the kid came with a book. And then as you and your kid's bond got stronger, you would get like more spells in your book. And then eventually the goal was like, if you got all their book, they're pretty much like OP. Mm-hmm. So that's like, seems like the goal for Black Clover, which is different from Fairy Tail. Because Fairy Tail, you don't even understand the concept of how the magic is even used or what it's there for. People just use magic. You don't even know how they obtained it, how they practiced it.
You don't know why some people get stronger because you know friendship.
And there's somehow still normal people in this world and they don't differentiate like why you have magic and I don't. So there's that. But yeah, if I were to rate all three of these, this probably also get like maybe a decent plus. There wasn't a whole lot of it wasn't that interesting to me. So I'll give it a decent plus on that one.
There you go.
Yo, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed what you saw, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video. If you want to hear some more content, check out our other videos on the channel, or you can check out our podcast, The Decent Podcast, where we talk about all this and more. Links to all of our social media will be in the description box below. In the meantime, in between time, I gotta go get something to eat. I'm out of here. Peace.
I want it all. I said I'm mentally tough. Oh, what you thought I would quit? Even on days when I feel at my worst, I will get off my ass and then get back to work. Ain't nobody gonna get it for you. Better go ahead and get it by your motherfucking self, by yourself, nigga. Ain't nobody gonna get it for you. Better go ahead and get it by your motherfucking self, by yourself, nigga. Ain't nobody gonna get it for you. Better go ahead and get it by your motherfucking self, nigga. Ain't no damn excuses. All of those are useless. I don't ever use it. Don't ever confuse it. Love.